Hello everyone, welcome to our course on effective management. Our teaching group of 5 will be presenting 5 important management strategy topics, which are the following: the role of the manager as a servant leader, strong communication and interpersonal skills, delegating effectively and empowering team members, supporting the work-life balance, and supporting professional development for employees. There are many different management leadership philosophies. Some of these are autocratic, democratic, coaching, transformational, or strategic, among others. But the one I want to speak about today is servant leadership and the role of a servant leader. As stated by Patterson in the Leadership and Organizational Development Journal 2004, this management theory differs from the traditional forms of leadership in the force that drives the leader to lead. This force behind the philosophy is people first. According to Leiden in the Academy of Management Journal 2014, managers need to utilize leadership approaches that develop employees to their full potential, making it imperative to move away from autocratic leadership styles and toward leadership styles that are more personal, individualized, and cooperative. Our teaching team believes this philosophy demonstrates the best leadership example and brings about the best results in managing your small teams. But what exactly is a servant leader? The term servant leader was first penned by Robert Greenleaf in the 70s in his book, Servant Leadership: A Journey into the Nature of Legitimate Power and Greatness. He described the servant leader as the one who chooses first to serve, and then, as an outpouring of that desire, comes an aspiration to lead others. Barbuto and Wheeler in the Group and Organization Management Journal 2006 describe it as a calling where a leader has a deep-rooted desire to make a positive difference in others' lives. This type of manager serves his employees and the organization instead of the other way around. They choose to focus on their team's growth and well-being and puts their needs first above their own. Luthans and Avolio in the Positive Organizational Leadership Journal states that the servant leader sees subordinates or followers as the main reason for being in the position and wants to do everything in his or her power to ensure that they grow. They go on to explain that this type of leader also wants his employees to develop into servant leaders themselves. Servant leadership is important in business because it creates a work environment in which employees at all levels of your organization feel respected, appreciated, and valued. Business whose leaders follow a servant leadership philosophy tend to have stronger work cultures with higher employee morale and engagement. Let's talk about some characteristics of a servant leader. There's quite a long list that can be attributed to this type of leadership, but we'll be focusing on 6 qualities. One of the first characteristics that Greenleaf in 1977 describes in a servant leader is that they are a listener. Perceived listening should also be incorporated, which encompasses listeners' behaviors that can signal attention, interest, and comprehension. Effective leaders don't just speak, but listen to what their teams have to say. They give ample opportunity for all the members to be heard and then listen carefully to what is being said and potentially what is not being said. Secondly, servant leaders are empathetic. Servant leaders are also known to be accepting and empathetic towards those in their sphere of influence. According to Furch in the International Journal of Servant Leadership 2005, they accept a person for who they are, and yet they still refuse to accept a level of effort that's not equal to a subordinate's capabilities. This is a combination of accountability and acceptance between the manager and the employee. Thirdly, servant leaders want to empower and develop people. Van Dierendonck in a Journal of Management 2011 states that when a leader is a servant first, the organization does not have to be concerned with monitoring self-serving behaviors of that leader to ensure they are working towards organizational goals. Fourthly, servant leaders are authentic. They are transparent, do what they promise, and are honest. Fifthly, servant leaders are humble and have self-awareness. Being a servant leader is not easy because one must avoid their own self-interest. Putting others first all the time and maintaining humility takes great character strength. And lastly, another main attribute of servant leaders is their desire to inspire others. Heiler and Martin in the Journal of Managerial Issues 2018 state that the behaviors of servant leaders are contagious and will eventually spread throughout an organization and improve it over a period of time. There have been many great examples of servant leaders known for their service to their people and their humility. Some of these are Abraham Lincoln, Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama, and Nelson Mandela. Some CEOs that are well known as servant leaders are Herb Kelleher, former CEO of Southwest Airlines, Howard Schultz, CEO of Starbucks, Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, and Alan Mulally, CEO of Ford Motor Company. In commissioning this training, your company has declared its hope to make servant leadership part of its organizational culture. They see the benefits and the importance of this philosophy and desire a company in which all employees strive towards this common goal. Developing your servant leadership skills will build trust and loyalty between you and your team members and will enable your team to grow, develop, and perform to the best of their ability. Now we will hear from Eric, who will be teaching on strong communication and interpersonal skills.